Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Stu's Cruise Getaways and Travels YouTube. That's right, YouTube. I have moved away from Facebook, and this is going to be my first true YouTube video. So, a little about who I am and what I do. I am a travel agent. I have created Stu's Cruise Getaways and Travel, your one-stop shop for everything that you need for a vacation, business travel, honeymoons, anything that you can think of, I can help you try to do. Out here, this is my first YouTube. With this, I have done a couple on Facebook, but keep losing my videos. So I decided to just come over and go to the world's largest video playing and most watched item on the internet, which is YouTube. A little bit about myself, though. Like I said, I created this business, and I am originally from the state of Florida. I have moved to Ohio and decided to get ex-military and decided to get into travel because that's what I love to do. Travel is my passion. I've been around the world. I've been to places like Ecuador, El Salvador, Germany, Italy, France. I've been to Dubai. I've been to some not so great places though, like Iraq, Afghanistan. I've been to Kuwait. It's not that bad. Been to Qatar, however you pronounce it. It's not that bad. Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, France, Iceland, Ireland. So I Bahamas. So I've been a few places. I've been on a cruise or two. So I'm here to try to go out there and grow my brand, which is Stu's Cruise Getaways and Travel. I'm not sure if that's going to be the name of this YouTube channel yet or not. Still working on that. If you do have any suggestions, please drop them down there in the comments and I will look them over. Also, if you're looking to get into a cruise, a getaway, a travel, Disney, Universal, Hawaii, Cayman Islands, Europe, Asia, send me, at the end of this, I will post my contact information. You can contact me anyway. And if not, that is fine. You can also leave a comment, and I have no problem reaching back out through comments. Talking about Cayman Islands. I got last week, after I filmed my Facebook video, I got a nice little care package from the good old Cayman Islands, and they gave me this nice little tumbler here. It's metal, better than what I thought I was going to get. They also sent me a couple postcards and a sticker. This says I'm a Cayman Islands specialist. There's the sticker. And my postcards. Just some basic information for me as well. And next week I'll talk about the Cayman Islands. First of all, thank you so much for reaching out and giving me this nice little care package for doing the training. And I promise I will try to send as many people that want to go to the Caribbean to the Cayman Islands. The resorts are high end. The water is beautiful. And there's tons to do. So I'll get more into that next week. But this week I decided to maybe get into why you should use a travel agent. And maybe break a couple of those myths out there that some people have. Alright? And the biggest myth and the biggest misconception, which majority of travel agents do not charge more than what the trip's actually worth. I do not have a fee to come through me. I do not ask for a dime. I get paid from the trip. Yes, I do. But I don't get paid extra. I don't charge you an extra $50, $100, $1,000 for me to do my work. And so when you do the trip on your own, and say you use Carnival. Let's just go with the cruise. And you choose Carnival, and then the flights you choose through whoever, say Delta. Well, the Delta flights and the Carnival, there's still money on that commission. And what happens is the commission gets paid back to the company. If you use someone like me, what would be profit on there, I get a percentage of that profit. There's no, like I said, I'm not upcharging you. I'm not adding to you. I might ask if you want to go from, say, economy to economy plus on a flight, or even first class if that's how you like to travel. I may also ask, once you're on the ship, do you want an interior or do you want a sea view? Do you want a balcony? Do you want a suite? Yes, I want to try to get you in a better place and for your money, but it's like I said, I'm not going to add anything to your job to your trip that you don't need. Also, so that's the myth, is we charge. There are some out there that do charge. I'm not going to say none of us do, but majority of us do not. I'd rather get you your business, and like my motto is, your dreams is our specialty, or something like that, and that's what I want to be. I want to be the one of that book. You know, it says that's a chapter in my book for the rest of my life. I want your vacations to have its own chapter and your memories last forever. That's what I want to help build you, and I'm not going to charge you extra. Another good thing about going with a travel agent is it saves you time. You don't have to sit behind the computer for hours and try to figure out what you want to do. You don't have to try to make everybody happy. You don't have to try to bounce to see where the best deals are. You come to me, you give me parameters, which if you come with me, I'm going to talk to you. We're going to come up with a game plan. We're going to come up with some ideas, and then I'm going to search. And then I'm going to give you 2 or 3 ideas, 4 ideas, whatever I could feel fits you and anybody else going with you on that trip. So I do all the research. I do all the work. You're just there getting ready for your trip. Which leads to my next point. I save you time and I save you stress. Because one of the hardest parts about going on a trip is the planning. How am I going to get there? What are we going to do? What are we going to do this day, that day? How are we going to get home? How are we going to get to the airport? How are we going to get to the hotel? That's my responsibility. When you get off that plane, you should have, unless we agreed upon you're going to Uber, someone there to pick you up. So on my behalf, make sure you have a place to stay. It's on my behalf to make sure you have something to do the first night, and if you don't want to do something that first night, the first day, the second day, the third day. And again, some are going to be recommendations. Some of them are going to be pre-bought. Because a lot of places you want to pre-buy so you can make sure you have your tickets. So you know you're not going to be the one waiting in these long lines because you waited until you got there. I can make sure all that's paid for and ready for you. So all that stress is relief. You finally got a relief. And about the planning stage, what I like to do is sit down and say, hey, what are 3 things you like to do? What are 3 things, say you're married, your spouse wants to do, and 3 things your kids like to do? Each one. And then I take that list of 3, 6, 9, 12, and then start looking at recommendations for what's around there. On this day, if your spouse is a sports fan, hey, there's a baseball game in town, football game, basketball game, y'all will be there. Oh, y'all like the beach? Well, we have this beach, and this beach. after doing research, this one gets a little more busier with the party crowd, but this one's more of a family beach. And here's one that's more private. And if you want to do the private, it does cost this amount. Like, it's my plan to try to build your vacation around what you like and everyone on the trip likes. So at least everybody can at least do one thing that they like to do. And then I may see something that after looking at y'all's likes and recommendations that y'all didn't say it says your husband likes boating and the beach, but I can see a sports fishing trip. Maybe I could recommend that. Put down one of the recommendations. Hey, here's some sport fishing down there in Key West. Some high-end, it's part of your trip. Would you like me to book that? Or you go to New Orleans, but you didn't know that they have swamp cruises, like swamp expeditions where they take you through the swamps. So again, it's my job to help you find those expert recommendations that you may not see. You may be stuck on a certain hotel, but I can get you a nicer hotel for the same price, or maybe even a couple bucks cheaper, because I'm doing all this research for you. So my recommendations are there. Also, and I'll tell you mine here in a second, with the recommendations, most of us choose a specialty, a niche, or a way to go. Some of it's destinations, some of it's types of travel. Really big is cruises. I do have a few cruises that I am currently with. If you go to my Facebook page, most of my training certificates are on there. But my specialties is North, South, Central America, and the Caribbean. There's a lot that you can do from Alaska and Canada, all the way down to the tips of Argentina and Chile. It's not that expensive flights, easier to get there. The people are nice. Some of the most beautiful parts of the world are between Alaska and Canada, all the way down to Argentina, Chile. I've been to Ecuador. It's beautiful. I would highly recommend going there. Definitely to the beaches or even to some of the mountain areas. Cuenca is a nice, beautiful, beautiful mountain town. And Salinas is a nice, beautiful beach town. And both I would highly recommend to anyone looking to move or visit Ecuador. But like I said, we choose our specialties. Another reason why I got a few cruise ships I always recommend in specialties is because of the Caribbean. Caribbean's a beautiful place as well. So that's even cheaper to get to. Like I said, the Cayman Islands, Puerto Rico. And good news for us Americans, if you don't have a passport, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and the Marshall Islands. I wouldn't say it's the Marshall Islands. You don't need a passport. There are territories. So you can go to Puerto Rico. You can spend $200-$300 on a round trip flight, depending on the time of year, and go see some of the most beautiful water. There's beaches there that glow at night. I'll get into that another week. It's so beautiful down there. So like I said, my specialties is North, Central, South America, and the Caribbean. So anything from Alaska and Canada down to Argentina and Chile. But that does not mean I will not book you. I will book a trip to Africa. I will book you a trip to Europe, Dubai, Asia, Australia, Oceania. Don't take me saying that this is my specialty. That's all I do. But that's where I'm most knowledgeable in. Another reason to go with us is we can handle the unexpected. There's going to be so much on your plate between when you book and the trip. There could be 1,000 things. Say you and your boyfriend or girlfriend are going to go on a cruise, and it's believe, like if it's Virgin, I believe it's 2 weeks prior, and it's 2 weeks and a day prior, and y'all break up, and you want to take someone else. Well, guess what? You can do that. You call me. It's my job to get it taken care of. It's that simple. I'll get to a couple things at the end. But yeah, so anything can happen. You get sick, someone dies, sadly. That's also why I always recommend travel insurance, so you can always reschedule stuff, or if something happens, you have a means to handle that. But just like I said, just the unexpected. You can always expect the unexpected to happen when you're planning a trip. It's Murphy's Law. If something's going to happen, it will happen. Also, it's the travel agent's responsibility to help navigate changing travel conditions. So say it's 2 days before, and like right now, it's with wind chill, negative 20 degrees outside here in Ohio. Everything's shutting down here. Everything's shutting down in North Florida. Like I said, they're expecting snow. I think I saw someone say it's actually snowing in Pensacola. So, crazy things happen. People freak out. Things get canceled. It's my job to help get around that. See, maybe if we could change your plane tickets. Say you're flying in and you're like, oh no, they may close this airport. Well, it's my job to get on there, see if we can, and get on the phone and see if we can reroute you going around. And you may have to leave earlier, or something for your trip, or you may leave early, later in the afternoon and get there later the next day. But we can still get all that, because you never know with the travel conditions. You never know what's going to happen. When I went to Ecuador one time, there was one of the cities, not the city I was in, but one of them, they weren't happy. So there's some issues that came about, and as a travel agent, I'll get that information ahead of time, because one thing I promise you, if you book with me the day before, you're going to get an email saying don't forget. You're going to get a 10-day forecast sent to you, and you're going to get a phone call. Just make sure everything's ready to go, and give you an idea of what's going to happen. And if there is any issues like with the weather or not, that phone call maybe a day before, another day before, or a day before that, just to make sure. All right, another reason is it's my job to help you see the bigger picture. Because I know most people are like, I want to go on vacation and I want to do X, Y, and Z. And that's fine. I can get you to do X, Y, and Z. But there's A through X that you're skipping, and you may not be able to see. Say you go to New Orleans, which I've lived in Louisiana, and all you do is stay on Bourbon Street because you want to eat at a certain place, go to one of the cathedrals, and maybe even go see the Saints play a football game. I'm just throwing something out there. That's great. But there's also the swamps that are very nice. There's ghost tours there at night. And you got to think of a city that old, rich in history. Those ghost tours would be very educational. There's a lot of history to walk around as well. There's the Hard Rock. And there's a specialty with the Hard Rock too. You know, if you're there with your significant other, great place to get a dinner and a t-shirt. Because, you know, if you go to Hard Rock, you got to get the t-shirts. But it's my job to open up the vacation to more than you plan. Say you go to Disney and you have 2 free days on your trip. Why not go see SeaWorld? Why not go see if you can get into Universal? Why not go to the Crayola factory that they have there? Why not go to the medieval restaurant there where they do the nights and everything in front of you. Like, there's a lot of recommendations. Like I said, I'm from Florida. I can give you recommendations all day on your days off. Or do you just want to relax by the pool? That's okay too. But again, it's my job to try to make you see the bigger picture of what's around. So when you get there, the memories you make are memories you have forever. And so there is one thing usually when it comes to us, though. If you use a travel agent, it's our job to do all the talking on your behalf. So if you book through us, any changes you have to come through us. Now, there are a few things here and there that you may not need us for. Like, again, if you do Virgin Voyages, you download the app, and there's a lot of things you can do through the app you don't need me for once you've set up and all. Once I've got you set up and all. But if you ever need to call someone, you need to call me so I can call, so I could talk on your behalf. For one, that goes back to save time, because I could be on hold for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, fighting your case or whatever this is that you need done. And if you have a job, or if you have to go get the kids, or, trust me, I have kids. If they're meet, and you're on the phone, you're not going to hear, you're not going to get all the thing. And that's where it's my job to make sure I get all that, write it all down, give you a call back, say, hey, everything's good to go. Or B, hey, they couldn't do this, but they could do this. They recommended doing this instead. So there is things that I can do to help. Again, so these are the reasons why you need, well, no, not reasons why you need, but it's good to have a travel agent. And don't get me wrong, I've booked many trips on my own. I have, and I kind of like it. That's the reason why I came into travel agent. I love doing all this research and doing it all looks for you. Like, I've been doing a lot because this is just fun for me. Like, making sure that you have an enjoyable vacation and knowing that I helped you in that process is wonderful. And you know what? If I have you do a good vacation, guess what? You're going to come back to me for your next vacation and your next vacation and your next vacation, because you know I'm going to put in every effort I can to make sure you have a great vacation. All right. Well, that is it for tonight. And tomorrow, which is January 22nd, I guess I'm going live because I hit the button and it told me I had 24 hours before I could go. So, I will go live on tomorrow night. And if you catch this before then, hey, jump on in and ask questions. I have no problem answering questions for you. And you know what? I'm not afraid to say I don't know. But leave me your email and I will get you your answers. So, thank you so much for your time. And until next week, aloha.